This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Thursday, June 19th. I'm Emma Albright. It's a chilly morning in Akureyri, Iceland, and a muggy evening in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Here in the Worldcrunch newsroom in Paris, it's hot and sunny and just after midday. These are the latest headlines. Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo agree on a draft peace deal that could end decades of conflict. Nippon Steel acquires U.S. steel for $14.9 billion. And our daily quiz question comes from the depths of the ocean. Our top story today continues to be the escalating conflict between Israel and Iran. An Iranian missile hit southern Israel's main hospital early Thursday, causing damage but no serious injuries. Other missiles hit a high-rise building and several other residential buildings at least 2 sites near Tel Aviv. At least 40 people were wounded in the attacks. Israel also carried out strikes overnight on Iran's Arak heavy water reactor. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department has begun evacuating non-essential diplomats and their families from the U.S. Embassy in Israel. President Donald Trump is giving mixed signals about whether the U.S. will get directly involved in the conflict. In our More Than a Minute feature today, French political analyst Pierre Haski examines 3 factors that could weigh in Trump's decision to enter the war in Iran. His France Inter piece was translated by Worldcrunch, and the English audio was produced with automated voice technology. Pierre, tell us about what could push Trump to join Israel in its war against Iran.
The American restraint shown on the first day of the Israeli attack no longer applies. On June 13th, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio had said that Israel took unilateral action against Iran. 4 days later, President Donald Trump tweeted, "We control Iranian airspace," using a "we" that speaks volumes, even though the United States is officially not participating in the war, or should we say, is not yet officially participating. 3 factors must be taken into account to understand how and why Trump might decide to go to war alongside Israel. The first is psychological. It may seem trivial when it comes to war, but with Trump, it's important. The U.S. president loves being a winner more than anything, being on the victorious side. And in this war, it is Israel that has strategic superiority, that does pretty much what it wants. Hence Trump's use of "we." It's all too tempting. Nothing is more frustrating than a war waged with American weapons, but one in which the President of the United States can't reap the rewards. This first factor argues in favor of officially entering the war.
What else is influencing the president?
The second factor is the men who have access to Trump and who try to influence him. The most important person in this matter is obviously Benjamin Netanyahu. The Israeli Prime Minister has a long-standing and complex relationship with Trump, more than another man whispering in the president's ear. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who didn't want this war, or more than the Europeans whom Trump doesn't even listen to. Trump can bully Netanyahu, as when his envoy Steve Witkoff imposed a ceasefire on the Israeli leader in Gaza on January 19, so that his inauguration the following day would allow him to achieve a first success, however fleeting. But today, it is undoubtedly Netanyahu who has the upper hand over Trump. He was able to get Trump to come out of his shell and approve this war even before the negotiations with Iran were completed. It's an old story. The Israeli Prime Minister was already against the agreement concluded by then U.S. President Barack Obama in 2015 and has always advocated a military path against an Iranian threat he considers existential. If Netanyahu gets the U.S. to go to war on his side, it would be a major first.
And finally, what's the third factor?
It's American domestic politics. Trump was elected on a platform of U.S. withdrawal from world conflicts, as opposed to the endless wars waged by old-school Republicans and Democrats. In his inaugural address, the president even declared that his success would be measured by the wars he didn't start, a statement greeted with thunderous applause. Suffice to say, Trump's stance on Israel has destabilized his MAGA, Make America Great Again, base, like podcaster Tucker Carlson, who worked tirelessly to get him elected and who is now being called kooky by the president for opposing U.S. entry into the war. While Trump is more MAGA on Ukraine, on Israel and Iran, he leans toward the old-school Republicans. It is this alchemy of several factors that will decide peace or war, and it rests on only one man, Donald Trump.
Que sur un seul homme,
Donald Trump.
In other news, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo have agreed on a draft peace deal that could end decades of conflict. The breakthrough, mediated by the US and Qatar, provides for the, quote, disengagement, disarmament, and conditional integration of armed groups fighting in eastern DRC. Nippon Steel has finally closed a $14.9 billion acquisition of US steel. To close the deal, the Japanese company has agreed to grant an unusual degree of power to the US president. A unique and powerful golden share will give Trump veto authority over a host of corporate decisions, from idling plants to cutting production capacity and moving jobs overseas. We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question. What have scientists discovered living on the ocean floor of the west coast of the United States? Is it A, methane-eating spiders, B, bioluminescent pine trees, C, transparent crabs, or D, giant seahorses? The answer is A. In the depths of the ocean, heat-trapping methane is actually a nourishing means for some creatures. Scientists say they have discovered 3 previously unknown, unnamed species of sea spider off the US West Coast that are teaming up with bacteria to thrive off gas bubbling from the seafloor. That's the latest from around the world. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. À demain!